As a cartoonist, I've been puzzling over what makes us laugh for over 40 years now. Humor would seem to be one of the safest and healthiest forms of confrontation that we have at our disposal, both as individuals and as a society. I would much rather have you laughing at me or even with me than throwing stones or launching missiles. As far as we know, ours is the only species that laughs. And we now think that laughter, this is interesting, developed in our early ancestors as kind of a nervous reaction to danger, kind of a and that's where laughter came from. So danger and humor have always gone hand in hand. And what I mean by humor is sort of a satirical, tough, laugh at the other guy kind of humor, as opposed to dancing with your grandkids kind of humor. There should be two words, very different animals. So today's presentation is an unusual one, but one I hope you enjoy or at least find interesting. I'll be showing you approximately 200 cartoons, both my own and the work of many other talented artists, to illustrate certain points. If you find yourself wondering about any of these points, perhaps we could have a brief question and answer session after the presentation, but you'll have to yell because we don't have any microphones, or come up front. Before getting started, how is that? Is the microphone level all right? You hearing me up on the steps there? Okay. Before we get started, school is about to begin everywhere. I often wonder how those kids manage to carry those knapsacks. As educators, I would like to thank you for the extraordinary job that you do. We all understand that it can't be easy spending most of the working day dealing with our kids. And we're always reading about the financial woes of our various academic institutions, which means that anyone connected with education is not being paid enough to do what it is you do. If cartoonists really do reflect public attitudes, then educators have actually come off rather well in the work that we do, as opposed to, say, politicians or lawyers or used car salesmen. But a little more on that subject later. As you're all aware, technology has been one of the major forces for change in the world today. It could be, this could be me, an iPad. I mean, I've got all the gear, an iMac, an iTouch, an iPhone, and you broke. It is quite remarkable how technology has changed all our lives. In my case, you still see my daily cartoons in the newspaper and now on its webpage, but within a year, they tell me, I will quite probably be an app on your handheld device, allowing you to receive the cartoon anywhere in the world the moment I finish the drawing. Amazing. It really is when you think about it. Maybe you'll see it even before my editors do. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Now, I also do occasional book signings. Does this mean that in future I'll be arriving at bookstores not to sign your book, but to sign your Kindle or your iPad? Who knows? There's no getting away from it either. After this talk, my wife, who's watching me way up in the back there, and I will be going up north of here to spend the weekend at my daughter's cottage on a very small, typical, beautiful Canadian lake. But I know full well, along about Saturday, I'll miss being plugged into some sort of technical network. Our insistence on staying connected when you think about it, it's absolutely Pavlovian, you know? What's happened to us? Are we all going to end up looking something like this? Let me say, though, it's very nice to be here in Toronto, where, according to a local cartoonist, you are first in gridlock, if not in hockey. Recently, Toronto garnered world attention in hosting both the G8 and the G20. I take all this wasn't all that much fun for Torontonians, as reflected by another local cartoonist. You had your fake lake, it's kind of fun. For all of those black bloc anarchists roaming the streets in pursuit of filming themselves, we saw a lot of that. But mostly, you seem to have the police absolutely everywhere, both here in Toronto and up north in Huntsville. From a distance, my favorite cartoon to come out of Toronto during both summits was this one, showing imported cops from all over the country collectively lined up at a Tim Hortons.